Hello, everyone, and welcome to lecture number 2 in GCP series. Agenda for today is we'll be discussing about GCP architecture on a high level, like what are GCP regions, zones, folders, and projects. We'll be also touch basing upon the organization hierarchy and how things are placed in GCP. So let's get started. First, we'll be talking about regions and zones in GCP. So as you could see, this snapshot, which shows region 1 and region 2 over here. And inside the region 1, you see 3 zones, zone A, zone B, and zone C. And then we have multi-regions, and then we have few resources in GCP which are global. So let's talk about zone first. What do we mean by zone? Zone is nothing but a kind of data center, which is a kind of deployment area within a region. So you can consider zone like a kind of data center. So if you look at this snapshot, it is like collection of data center. We can see over here zone A, zone B, zone C, and the collection of data center or zone is called as region. So I have also listed down the definition over here, or maybe just an understanding in terms of my own wordings. Like if we see zones, it's a kind of independent data center, and a zone is a kind of deployment area within a region. Now let's talk about region. Region is nothing but a kind of location or a geographical location. And as I mentioned previously, collection of zones is nothing but a kind of region. So in short, in GCP, every region will have 3 or more zone. Basically, in most of the cases, it's 3. So we have 3 zones inside a region, and a region is nothing but just a kind of geographical location to host your resources. On top of it, we have multi-regions. So multi-region is like collections of regions. Here in this picture, it's region 1, region 2. These are like multi-regions. So yeah, that's what the definition says. Collection of regions in a specific continent is a kind of multi-regions. Global, as I mentioned initially, in GCP, few resources are global, which can be deployed anywhere, or their presence is all around the globe, like VPC network. So that's one of the global resources. And as we go down the line, we'll have a bifurcation of the resources which are global and which are regional or zonal as such. One important point to note, considering the GCP certifications, are like just looking at the naming convention, you can see or you can define whether it's a region or zone. And the tip for the same is region always ends with a number. So you can see region -1, region -2. And zones always ends with the alphabet. So zone -A, zone -B, zone -C, something like that. So let's look at one of the example. Then you'll get to know how we can identify regions and zone just looking at the name of the region or zone. So I've taken down a snap which shows region code, region, zones, and zones list. So you see the region name, which is US West 1. And as I mentioned previously, if you refer back, the region ends with a kind of number. So US West 1 is a number, and that's how you can identify a region within GCP. And the region can be for US West 1, the Dallas, Oregon, and North America. And in this region, US West 1, we have 3 zones, and the zone names are US West 1-A. So as you could see, zones ends with an alphabet, like US-West 1-B. So again, it shows that zones ends with a kind of alphabet. If we take Asia as an example, Asia South 1 is one of the region over there, wherein this is the region code as such, Asia South 1. And we have 3 regions inside it, like Mumbai and India, APAC, not 3. But this list is increasing day by day. And if you want to see the GCP region list, then you can just go to Google Chrome maybe and just type GCP regions. So we can see the list like over here, as I was mentioning. So yeah, that's how you can see in GCP reference documentation. Coming back to the slide again, next topic is organization hierarchy in GCP, which is quite important. If you're learning GCP, you should know how things are placed in GCP. What is an organization? What is folders? What is folders inside folders? And what are projects? So if you could see, this is the snap from the GCP console, which says this is one of the organization, which is like myorganization.com, which correlates with this over here. Engineering is one of the folder, which is like, here we see HR is one of the folder, something similar. You can consider engineering is one of the folder. And inside engineering, we have a subfolder called as product A. And inside it, we have another subfolder called development. So over here, if you take an example, like this is an organization, we have folders inside it, and inside technology, we have subfolders like dev, test, and prod. And inside dev, we have another subfolders, and inside a subfolder like ML, big data, security, monitoring, network. And inside security, we have these 3 projects, which is like Project IAM, Project KMS, Project Vault. And inside project, you could see these resources like BigQuery and others, virtual machine and all those things. So if we just look at this again, so inside product A, we have development, and we have another folder called as production. And inside production, we have projects called as My Awesome Service 1, for example, and so on. So I've also added another picture so that can give you more clarity. For example, this is an organization like example.com or HCL.com, anything you can consider. And then this company may have folders, like one folder for human resource HR, one for engineering, and one for sales. And inside engineering, we may have particular environments like dev, prod, and test. Or maybe this is the dev project. You can consider it's not a folder, sorry. These are the folders, and it looks like this. And if you see, this is the example dash dev project, example dash prod project, and example dash test. Inside project, basically we will deploy the resources. You could see it's compute engine. Over here it's cloud pops up. Over here it's cloud compute engine. And we can also see app engine, cloud storage, and so on. So just remember, like, it's GCP always have a first node as organization, and then we can have folders. We can also have subfolders inside folders, and then projects and resources are deployed inside the projects, like VM instance over here. So these are a few of the important terms. Like, as I mentioned, the top node in every GCP account is an organization, which is shown over here. And organization basically contains all your billing accounts, basically. And then we have folders inside the organization, and folders will be created to segregate different teams within an org. This is one of the use cases of folders. Like, as we mentioned, we have human resource team, HR, engineering, and sales. And folders can have additional subfolders to separate, for example, the environments like dev, test, production, something like that. So if you look at the first image, for technology, we may have folders like dev, subfolders inside folders, test, and production. So this is like kind of best practices, like to separate your dev, test, and production environments using subfolders. Then comes the project. So project will be created within a folder, for example, and project, this is important, project is associated with one billing account. So every project is associated with one billing account. And as we mentioned, resources will be created inside the projects. So a resource belongs to one and only one project. For example, this VM instance is belonging to this project, but you can create another VM instance in another project. We can have multiple projects inside an organization or inside folders. That is quite possible. So I've also mentioned, like example, abc.com can have folders like HR, engineering, sales, and then these folders can have multiple subfolders, like engineering can have dev, test, prod. And then in dev, we can have projects for dev. In test, we can have projects for test. And in production, we can have projects for production as such. And that's how you segregate the environments. This slide talks about projects in GCP, like which is this area, projects, and the importance of it. Because project organizes your resources. Your resources will be deployed inside the project, as if we see the hierarchy. Organization, folders, projects, and then the resources, and like one of the resources, VM instance over here. All the Google Cloud Platform services you use are associated within a project. So let's say suppose you are using Compute Engine, that is again a part of project. Let's say suppose you are using cloud storage, that is again a part of project. As we have seen, VM instance is again a part of project. So every resource in GCP is associated with a project, quite an important point. And these are the kind of use cases of projects. We can have projects to track the resources and the usage of the resources. We can use projects to track the billing and also manage permissions and credentials at a project level, and enable the services and APIs for projects and the associated environments or something like that. And if someone is trying to correlate with Azure or AWS, GCP projects are equivalent to an account in AWS and a subscription in Azure as such. That's it for this presentation, and let's look back in the console, how things look. So let me just go to GCP console. I'm using a GCP free trial account as such, so you may not be able to see a org node, because in free trial you cannot have an organization node as such. So it's in free trial you'll see no organization, but in production I've taken down a snap. It will look like this: myorganization.com, it can be hcl.com, tcs.com, anything, and then folders and then project. In free trial account, you can directly see the projects as such. This is one of the project, Cloud Bootcamp, Terraform with GCP. And if I need to go to this project, I can just click on it and I'm in the Cloud Bootcamp project. And if I need to change the project, I can go over here. If I need to go to a different project, I can go like this. And these are the project IDs, quite important. And if you need to create new project, you can just click over here, new project, give a project name like dev, something like that. And then project name should be, okay, dev-df. Okay. And I can just create something like that. And if you need to drill down further, where is my project and all? So just over here, I can click on it. I can click on those 3 dots and go to the project setting. Then I can see what is my project ID and project number. So project number is given by GCP as such, and also the project ID. You cannot edit the project ID. Like if I try to edit it, I cannot edit it. The project name can be changed. I can just click remove some things and save it. That's quite possible. So for the time being, I'm not changing anything. Let's go back. And I can also check the project settings from here like this. And if I need to delete every resources under the project, right, I can just click on this shutdown option, and your project will be shut down and your billing will be stopped as such. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you have liked the information provided in the video, hit the like button, because that motivates me to create some new contents for you. And as usual, if you have any queries, comment down in the comment section and I'll try to answer those for you. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next.